Bayern take the Champions League title, Chelsea close in on Thiago Silva, Liverpool have a competitor for Thiago, a transfer roundup, and today's Emoji Mondays all coming up in the next few minutes as I am your host Matt Froelich, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, and of course you already know, Bayern Munich have won the Champions League, their sixth major European title, and it was a 1-0 victory over PSG that no one was really expecting, to be honest. I looked through all of your Friday feels, which we'll come on to a little bit later in the show. I looked through my own prediction. Everyone was saying goals galore. Lewandowski, hat-tricks, Neymar and Mbappe to do this and that. And in the end, it was quite a tense game, and I think that both teams probably, you could say, should have scored more. There were definitely a load of chances, but they found goalkeepers, especially Manuel Neuer, in fantastic form. Bayern Munich basically did what everyone thought they would do, which is cruise control and win the Champions League. I wouldn't say they were particularly under threat either. Apart from the Kylian Mbappe chance in the first half, there weren't too many others which really spring to mind, and Bayern just did what they had to do. They're efficient, they did their job, and they were altogether ridiculously German. Anyway, Kingsley Coman's header means that Hansi Flick has completed the treble. Such a difficult thing to do. Not only win the Champions League, not only win the Bundesliga as well as the Champions League, but the Cup as well. That's the thing of like legendary managerial status. And Hansi Flick's come in as an interim at first in November, got the job on a permanent basis, and then led them to the title. And on top of this, he's done what no other team has done before, and that is win every single match in a Champions League campaign. Now, of course, because of the one-leg format, something that UEFA has said they're actually going to look into for upcoming Champions League seasons, it meant that Bayern only played 11 games to win the title rather than the regular 13, but nobody is taking this away from them at all. In fact, we've been discussing as to why Hansi Flick is such a good manager in a video right here with myself and Angelina that you can check out. Anyway, as for the man of the match, well, there were three Bayern players who could have won it for me. I think Manuel Neuer was unbelievable in goal, some brilliant saves. Joshua Kimmich, both defensively and offensively, and got the assist, was brilliant, but for me, Thiago. In the centre of midfield, he really made the difference for Bayern, dictating the tempo, switching the play, and playing some crucial forward passes. This was the difference for me between Bayern and PSG. PSG, without Mbappe and Neymar really at the top of their game, they couldn't really look to anyone else, especially from the midfield, to have that driving force, that creativity, or even the knack of popping up with a goal, even though Marquinhos did have a pretty good chance. Di Maria was the best attacker, in my opinion, for PSG. Whereas if you look at Bayern, Thiago was controlling it from midfield, Müller was finding the space, Lewandowski is always a threat, and out wide I thought Coman and Gnabry did pretty well. Again, not a vintage performance from either team, Bayern did what they needed to do and they go home extraordinarily happy. But one PSG player who's going home not happy, along with the rest of the squad, but looking forward to joining his new club, is Thiago Silva. The defender is now, as of yesterday, out of contract to PSG, having signed that extension from July onwards. And he's close to a move to Stamford Bridge, because where else are players going this summer? Chelsea. You want to leave? Chelsea. You want to make a move to a brand new club? Who's interested in you? It's Chelsea. They haven't quite wrapped up the Kai Havertz deal yet, but they do have Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, and it looks like they're going to bring in quite a few others as well. So the experienced Thiago Silva will no doubt be a brilliant player to have in the back line, even if it's just for a year or two. At the moment, they do have defensive options. Of course, they've got Tomori and Christensen as well, as Azpilicueta can play in there. They've got Rudiger, of course. They've got options, but it's just always good to have a quality player like Thiago Silva in there too. This one definitely is going to help bolster that back line. And as well as this, there's rumours of another player joining Stamford Bridge as well, and that is Ben Chilwell. But there's a bit of a snag in this deal, and that's the fact that he's been injured. The English left-back missed the last 5 games of the season as Leicester fell out of the Champions League places to Chelsea and finished in 5th, and that's because of a heel injury. Apparently he's going to go and see a specialist, and if it turns out he's out for longer than expected, Chelsea may move on and look at other targets, including Ajax's Tagliafico. So talking of one Thiago to another, and it's Thiago Alcantara, who, as I just mentioned, man of the match in Bayern Munich's Champions League victory, but looks like before the Champions League final and after as well, he's still going to be on his way out of the club. With just 1 year left on his contract and he's rejected signing a new contract, Bayern are obviously going to sell him this summer because they don't want to lose him on a free next campaign. And it looks like his move to Liverpool is edging ever closer now that the Champions League is over. Coach Hansi Flick joked in the press conference after the game that he's actually been told by Thiago that he wants to stay, when realistically he then admitted that in the next few days they'll see what happens. Now, rumours are that Arsenal are going to be making a late bid for Thiago. Now, before you go ahead laughing, I know it seems ridiculous that Arsenal are trying to compete with Liverpool when it comes to attracting and signing brilliant players. But if the rumours are to be true, which it looks like they are, that Thiago is available for 30 million, there probably isn't a top club who wouldn't be interested. Like, most top clubs have got 30 million in the bank to spend on a new transfer, and if you're gonna spend it, you might as well spend it on a world-class midfielder like Thiago. So sure, Arsenal may not be one of the front runners, and they definitely may not be in talks with Thiago's team and bringing him to the Emirates and all this kind of stuff, but they might as well phone out Bayern Munich and say, here's 30 million. If everything goes down the power of Liverpool, let us know. But yeah, talking of attracting players, it's not going to happen to the Emirates ahead of Anfield, even though he'd definitely be guaranteed a starting role under Mikel Arteta, more so than he would under Jurgen Klopp, basically because of the midfield three they've got at the moment. Everyone's saying that Gini Wijnaldum is the one who's probably going to miss out, and he may even miss out on being in the club altogether next season as well, as contract talks seem to have stalled. And talking of Arsenal transfers, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who has been told that he can leave the club, is apparently attracting the interest of Newcastle and Wolves. Mino Raiola has said that his client Paul Pogba is happy at Manchester United and will be discussing a new contract in the upcoming weeks. Aston Villa are planning an outrageous bid to bring Kieran Trippier back to the Premier League from Atletico Madrid. And lastly but not least, apparently as part of this new Dutch revolution at Barcelona, although Ronald Koeman isn't calling it that, he's asked the club to go ahead and sign AZ Alkmaar attacking midfielder Calvin Stengs. Next up, when we move to your Friday feels, where you guys left a prediction for the weekend's football in the comments section on Friday's Daily News. First up, and Runak Dutra guessed that Bayern Munich would just edge out PSG 1-0. Commentary 89 Alan also guessed that the scoreline would happen after the 90 minutes. And finally, Legit Jeff called that Inter Milan would lose 3-2 to Sevilla. Didn't actually mention this one earlier. It seems like a world away, even though it was only a couple of days ago. Yeah, fantastic victory in the Europa League final for Sevilla, and in fact, a few of their players appear in our Emoji Mondays. So you guys know what this is. This is where we throw a couple of emojis down, because it's Emoji Mondays, over some of the weekend's footballing action. And first up, the best player of the weekend, I'm going to give to Luke de Jong. It's fair to say he doesn't always get the start for Sevilla, but he got the start in the Europa League final, scored 2 fantastic headers, and saw his side win, their 6th Europa League title. So all in all, a pretty good weekend for him. Next up, and the best result, of course, it's going to Bayern Munich. It's the result of one in the Champions League title. Was pretty difficult to suggest otherwise. And last but not least, the crazy moment going back to the Europa League final, the Spanish forward from Sevilla, Munir El Haddadi, got the most crazy, ridiculous haircut you've ever seen. After winning the title, I mean, take a look at this. He's managed to get the Europa League logo and his number shaved into the back of his head. So there you have it, a pretty wacky way to end the Daily News. But of course, you guys, let me know your thoughts on the Champions League and everything else down in the comments section below. Whilst you're at it, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.